into the rank of sergeant. We're going to swear him in. But before we do any of that, I have my co-labor and justice, Prosecutor David Layton. And we worked a case that we did, an incredible town hall yesterday with Fletcher Spears, referenced the Clio kindergartner school that sent 4 kids to the hospital. And you charged the mom. And she turned herself in today. In fact, her name is Melinda Gatica. And she was arraigned today at 9 a.m. in front of the district court judge and given a $25,000 PR bond. But I asked the prosecutor to always join me on these cases and kind of explain where we go from here. And if you're wondering, what is this case? We don't have time to explain it. Go back on our social media, search and Google the elementary kids that last Friday were given a foreign substance that sent them to the emergency room. So, prosecutor, if you could kind of tell us, where do we go from here?
You know, thanks, Sheriff. This is kind of a criminal proceeding that really didn't have to happen. This is one of those examples where we have so many people in the criminal justice system who are not criminals. They're individuals who made a mistake. And how I see this case of this woman is she made a mistake. She's been charged with child abuse in the 2nd degree, which is a very serious felony crime, punishable by up to 10 years in state prison. As I said yesterday, and I'll reiterate, it's not likely to end that way, but I think it was important that we get the attention of the community because you can't leave your edibles out and about and accessible to children. Edibles can be extraordinarily dangerous to young people. It's kind of like leaving a gun on the nightstand next to your bed. You can't do it if you have kids in the house. And so I think we have the attention of the community based upon the streaming results, based upon the thousands and thousands of comments that came in because of that. She did turn herself in today. The next step is we'll have a pretrial conference in district court. We'll meet with her attorney and we'll try to hash this out. Nobody's looking to rip apart a family, but it's important that folks understand that edibles are dangerous. These particular gummies were infused, as the sheriff's investigation showed us, with 30 milligrams per gummy. A normal gummy has 10 milligrams. And as the sheriff told me when we were discussing the case on the completion of the investigation, 1 milligram will knock down an adult. So imagine our sheriff, who kind of looks like Clark Kent, Superman, taking 1 gummy and getting knocked down by 10 milligrams. Imagine what 30 milligrams does to a kid. That's why so many of these kids ended up at the Hurley Medical Center. Long story short is, I think we have the attention and we're going to make sure that justice prevails. We're also going to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
So the second case we're going to go over, and we have a couple other things to share with you after that, is our Devontae Johnson, who's still outstanding. He's the one that got involved in a domestic on Easter Sunday morning, and the girlfriend and the dog is just an incredible, cool dog, jumped out of the window, and ultimately he got into another domestic, shot and killed the dog, and your office charged Johnson as well. He is still outstanding, probably in some location, we believe, in Detroit. We're asking him to do the right thing, and he's put a lot of people in a bad spot. So when you charge a case like that, why do we do habitual offenders? Why do we hold people accountable that get involved in domestics and also kill and torture dogs?
Well, you know, Sheriff, in contrast to the case we just discussed about the Clio schools, this is a case of somebody who has had intervention with the criminal justice system, and this is a much more violent offense where somebody did something in a more deliberate manner. If you watch that video, you see an individual who wants to have power over his girlfriend at the time. She wanted to leave him. He was not in favor of that, and he became violent. And to show, on top of the assault and battery on her, to show his ultimate attempt to control her, he shoots her dog right on video. It really disturbed all of us in law enforcement, and we see a lot of stuff, don't we? We see a lot of bad things over the years, but this one really wrenched at our hearts, and this gentleman needs to be brought into custody. We've charged him with multiple felonies, life offenses, and that case will turn out somewhat differently than the earlier case we talked about.
and that's a fact. You know, the other thing that we're covering is our expungement fair. There's a lot of folks that have drove by and are like, what's going on at the sheriff's office? Our second year in a row that we've hosted an actual fair where folks are lined up because the law allows them to be expunged. Their record cleared for certain charges. And we just had a great success last year. We had 740 people sign up, pre-register, 1,440 showed, and it's now set the pattern. There's other communities doing expungement fairs, and I'm so happy about that. We had our Wayne County partners come up here from Detroit. They're going to host their fair. We're going to help them in July. But we've got a lot of people out there that made it work, and Nation Outside is one of them. They donated $15,000 to make this fair in Wayne County's fair happen. We've got Michigan Works Mock College. We got United Way. We've got folks from Chase Bank all here. Our county commissioners are behind the cameras. We're going to talk about what their involvement is, but you have to have a legal process in place. The law in April of 21 allowed people who have certain convictions to have them expunged, wiped from their record. Today we're focusing on drunk drivings that are 5 years and older with no entanglements, but there's a lot of folks, and myself included, that have done things that I wish that would never be a part of our life, and we all are deserving of a second chance. So if you take just a second to explain, how is your office, the attorneys that have donated their time, you know, our county ambassadors, Percy and Janelle that made it happen, how does your involvement with this whole process fit in, and what does it mean for our community?
Well, I think the most important words are second chance. We all believe in a second chance, and that's what we're affording folks here today on drunk driving convictions. Last year, we had a tremendous success with all sorts of convictions across the board. The Attorney General joined us last year, the Governor, the Secretary of State. But when the smoke cleared, it's you and I who have to do all the heavy lifting, get these people through the lines. Thank you to all the public defenders who are here today, helping out with the paperwork. Ultimately, it goes across the street to the courthouse, and we have to make sure we get the paperwork done correctly and brought in front of the judge for the expungement hearing. And kudos to Mike Thomas, my longtime assistant, who oversees all of that in our office at the Genesee County Prosecutors. Today, we're focused on drunk driving. So it's really unusual for a prosecutor and a sheriff to stand here and be supportive of somebody getting their record cleared when they had a drunk driving. Drunk driving offenses keep me awake at night because those are the kinds of offenses that folks can do great harm to individuals who are innocent. It's not like, you know, a drug deal gone bad. It's not like a gang war. You know, a dad or a mom can get wiped out by a drunk driving. Right. So anybody who injured somebody in a drunk driving crash is not eligible. That's first and foremost. Secondly, if you have multiple drunk drivings, that is, if you have more than one, you're ineligible. But if you've only had one and your sentence has been 5 years in the rearview mirror, you are then eligible to expunge that drunk driving. And you can fill out the paperwork here today. And we, as the law enforcement officials, the two chief law enforcement officials of Genesee County, will be happy to shepherd your case into the courtroom and make sure that you get your drunk driving cleared. But again, if somebody was injured in your drunk driving episode, you are not eligible. And if you have more than one, you are not eligible. But if you have just the one, you are eligible for expungement in the drunk driving arena.
So we like to make it a fair, and so we have our friend Nick from our capital, Coney Island, that's making up some only hot dogs you could ever have, and that's Kogel's. So we're so thankful for Nick. He's doing that. Felix, our DJ over here, is just spinning the records. You're going to hear some music coming up here in a second. But all the folks that are making it work, our Mott College Mobile Learning Lab that provides all the copy machines and all the intel that we need, and to mention all the other things that are happening to make this day, including our staff. They were out here at 0700. They were here last night. Lieutenant Priest was washing cars in the rain yesterday to make sure, because I am the stickler on clean cars. And man, it's just everybody from the undersheriff down was out here grinding, and we're so thankful. So to all the staff that made it work, you're all out there, thank you so much. But this is an affair, and we're going to be here till 4 o'clock. If you're wondering what you can do, stop by. Nobody leaves here without information. If you're watching this, you're not from Genesee County, it's a statewide law, okay? It's not just here. You can go out to michigan.gov, You can search the expungement criteria, and you can find out. It is the law, and this is for you. So, Prosecutor, it's always a pleasure to work hand in hand.
Likewise, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. We're almost done, so hang tight. You know, we find it very special when we're able to support our new generation of law enforcement. And I couldn't do it without the County Board of Commissioners. So I would like Commissioner Ellenberg and Commissioner Clemens to come on up here. And I think they're the only two that I see right now. But Commissioner Clemens is the chair of the Board of Commissioners. And I got to tell you, county government is 9 commissioners that they allow funding for elected officials like myself and the prosecutor to do our job. We run our own offices, but they are partners. And a lot of times the board doesn't get the credit that you deserve because it's lives here. I mean, these are families that you help fund, and we're graduating them. We're putting them on the road. We're bringing them into a position of leadership. So I just want to tell you from me to you how much that means to me, because we couldn't do what we do without you doing what you do and your 7 additional colleagues. So just give it up for these 2 commissioners. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And we're going to have you back about the expungement fair in just a few minutes, but I wanted to make sure that I appreciate it. So we're going to do some other cool things here in a second, but I want to introduce you to Russ Davis. Russ Davis is ready for this. Is from the United States Department of Labor. That's the federal level. And he came about a year ago and said, I see what's happening with Ignite, and we want to be a part of it. But we're going to be a big part of it. And so he is a man of his word, and the Department of Labor, they backed it. And he represents the apprentice training across the nation.
No,
he said,
Michigan.
I'm saying nation, okay. You represent Michigan. Russ is Michigan, Department of Labor is nationwide. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
He's like, I gotta be a partner. And so he brought in this idea called MC3. So explain to us what the training is. And we've got some people graduating Friday. But you give it to us, and we're delivering. So tell us about it.
The MC3 program is a pre-apprenticeship program, and it really focuses on folks, minorities, women, people with barriers. And so when I heard about Ignite, I come and saw Sheriff Swanson and his team and said, I think there's a transparency where we can help some folks in your inmates. And when they graduate through the 10-week program, they go directly into an interview for a registered apprenticeship. And so Friday we'll graduate 6-year folks. We're very proud.
So let me explain how big that is. That's a 10-week program, 40 hours a week. And these individuals, when they were chosen, they were selected because the deputies behind Ignite, the people like John L. and Jill Warden and Percy and Keona Graham and Captain Gould, all these people you see names and faces, they're like, we think they're the best. When Deputy Shane, who runs the tether program, says, I think they have the best chance to succeed, we're going to try it. There are 6 graduating, and then they're going right into the apprentice training. So they're going to go from no job on tether. While they're training, they get paid per hour. And when they get out, they get paid to go to the apprenticeship training. And then beyond that, they're making $40, $45 an hour as a union apprentice. Now that's transformation. And that's what we're doing here. So all the Ignite staff, everybody that's making it happen, Russ, I'm proud to be a partner with the United States Department of Labor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you Friday.
Friday's the graduation. Stay tuned.
Thank you.
We're almost done. All right. We're gonna give somebody some promotion. So our first one is Mike Kalaja. Mike got hired here on the 4th of August, 2010, and he's a licensed paramedic. He's one of our FTOs, and he's a phenomenal individual. He actually has just, in the medic division, which is very important to me, he's taken it as a personal mission to make it better. That county medics that drive the Tahoes all over the streets of Genesee County, that answer 25,000 medicals a year, that our supervisors on the street are giving the citizens the best medic training you could possibly give. And he took the exam and he tested, and he just got promoted sergeant. So his family's out here. We're gonna snap him to attention, and we're gonna raise his right hand. I'm gonna swear him in as a sergeant, and then we're gonna do the deputies, and then we'll be on our way. So Mike, congratulations. I'd like you to stand at attention, raise your right hand, repeat after me. I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear.
To uphold the Constitution of the United States.
To uphold the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Michigan.
And the Constitution of the State of Michigan.
And I'll faithfully discharge my duties.
And I will faithfully discharge my duties.
As a sergeant.
As a sergeant.
For the County of Genesee.
For the County of Genesee.
State of Michigan.
State of
To the best of my ability.
To the best of
So help me God.
So help me
Congratulations. Sergeant Mike Galaja. Thank you. These 7 deputies just graduated Police Academy last week. And when you look at what's happening in 2020 and what the demand was for professional policing, it's vital we put out the very best. So our Police Academy training, they answered the call, and they started in January. They go all the way till last week in their training. Many times they're working on the weekends and they're working more than 40 hours. But what you see behind me are 7 deputies that graduated. They're going to be sworn as police deputies. All of us started into the jail, myself included. And then you put in for the request. You go to the academy. You get certified. It's called MCOLS. You take a test, and now you're a police officer. So you have Deputy Brown, Deputy Jackson, Deputy Wagner, Deputy Boos, Deputy Edmondson, Deputy Pengill, Deputy Butterfield. These are 7 deputies that we're putting out on the street, and this is why we're going to do it, because I want you to see the names and the faces and the families behind the badge. So if you would all stand at attention, raise your right hand, face me, and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear, to uphold the Constitution of the State of Michigan and the United States Constitution, and I'll faithfully discharge my duties as a police deputy for the County of Genesee, State of Michigan, to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations. 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 Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. You're in. Congratulations. Congratulations. Their families are out here. We're going to go celebrate. We're going to do another video about the expungement fair, but until we see each other again, be safe. Have a great day.